Good morning. Let's see here. All right, we are going to start letting people in here for day 5 of the summit. Let's see, just a minute. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and start. We'll let people come on in. Hello, hello. Happy bonus day. Happy Friday. Who do we have here? We've got Penny, Valerie. I don't know who CXO is, but I'm glad you're here. We've got Tara, Carly. Oh, good. So good to see everyone today. I have to tell you, I was oh, hold on. I've got to make sorry, I gotta make my team host. Whoop. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Technical difficulties. How do I make someone else host? Wait, they're gone. I don't know. We're gonna figure this out. Okay. Hey team, y'all can go. Can you just go ahead and claim host? Okay, it looks like we're good. All righty. So I was spending some time in the Facebook group this morning, and I have to tell you all, I was so moved by just over the course of this week, and this event, like what you were sharing and the homework shares and just everything that was showing up around everything from money to masculine and feminine energy to really getting intentional about what we talked about more yesterday, right? Your daily method of operations. And I was like very, very moved reading through everything. So today is going to be really powerful because today is all about implementation of what we talked. Well, I'd say more integration. One of the eyes. It's about integration of what we talked about. And we're going to have time to work together more directly. So for those of you who are here live, I just want to kind of tee up and preview that my goal is to engage directly with as many of you as possible and talk about what's been showing up for you this week. Where are you still feeling stuck? Are you feeling challenged anywhere? And help you just really elevate and expand your experience of everything we've talked about, because it's been a lot. Who here feels like, okay, this has been, it's been intensive, right, for the week? And I want to commend you too, because honestly, this is, I mean, in my life, it's probably close to 2 decades of figuring stuff out condensed into 1 week. And I still every single day continue to learn deeper levels of this myself too. So just know, like, this is really just the beginning. But my goal is that you have a high level overview of what the process looks like for you to ascend to your next level of, as you know now, not just sales success, but life, happiness, joy, peace. And this really does transcend every aspect of life, including relationships, all of it. So with that, a little preview of what we're going to do today. We are going to do, let's see here, we're going to announce our prize winner. So we've got a prize of a private coaching session, a 30-minute private coaching session. So we're going to announce the prize winner for that. We're going to do a new client spotlight. So you're going to get to meet another incredible, beautiful soul who's part of the She Sells community. We did open up our programs for enrollment last night, so I'll take just a minute and share a couple details on that because questions have been coming in on those. So So we like, if you were here yesterday, if you weren't, go back and watch it. But either way, we have opened up 10K Club and 50K Club for enrollment. So for those of you who want to take your journey deeper and have our support in helping you actually implement and customize all of this to you so that you can rise up to the next level, we are available for that and excited to welcome in whoever wants that type of support. We do have bonuses. I want to take a minute and just talk about these because they're all time sensitive. So through the end of the day today, so midnight tonight, Eastern time, the Create Your Quantum Leap course is going to be bundled in for anyone who enrolls in 10K, 50K Club, or I've had some conversations with women about private, so it would apply on that too. That is a $777 course. By Monday, so for those of you who don't enroll by end of day today, but by end of day Monday, you will receive a private workshop we're going to be hosting, I would say late October, early November, all about the impression of increase. I didn't get to share much about this yesterday, but who here is familiar with that term, the impression of increase? From Science of Getting Rich. Some of my clients are familiar, others like, no. Have you ever talked with someone and you're like, they're just magnetic and I don't know what it is, but like, I want to be in their energy. I want to work with them. I want to invest with them. That's what that is. So there is actually a science to doing this. And when you incorporate that into your sales conversations, and when you learn how to embody and live out the impression of increase, you have that magnetism and that pull in all areas of life. So it's really, really powerful. And so we're going to be doing a private workshop for our clients all about that. And so again, if actually you get this, anyone who enrolls today is going to get this too. But if you miss today for whatever reason, but still enroll by Monday at midnight, you'll still get that. And then there's a paid in full bonus as well for 10K, 50K or private, where you get a bonus private coaching call with me. For my team who's here, let me, Kayla, if you can when you have a moment, just pop the link in the chat for the programs. And then also for our funding partner. There was so much yesterday. Y'all, did anyone see the extra 30-minute bonus training I put in the Facebook group yet? Because there was so much. I was like, I didn't get to talk about half of this stuff. Was anyone able to watch that? I see something. Okay, good. Was it helpful? The decision-making from the end? This is a really powerful concept. So it's something I wanted to talk about yesterday. I didn't have time to, so I really encourage you, go watch it today when you can. It's what I have learned about how to make decisions. So when you're at a point where you want to take an action, but you feel fearful, or animal brain kicks in and tells you all of the lies it'll tell you, it's a really beautiful process that you can use to help empower you to make the decision that will actually propel you towards your goal. So I did a deep dive in there because we didn't have time to go into all of it yesterday. We won't have time to go into it today too. So watch it. I don't know how long we're going to keep it up. So I would say definitely watch it today. I had a point with that. All of that to say, there was a lot yesterday I didn't get to cover that I wanted to cover. So one of the things that I did want to share as well, Kayla, thanks for popping those links in there. And if you can pop the funding partner link in there too. So for any of you where it is resonating and you want to get enrolled in our programs and work with us and you need some support on the funding side, we have an incredible funding partner called 7 Figures Funding. We have a direct link that you can use to apply. They do specifically funding for personal development and coaching programs. And I went through their process myself because I wanted to feel good actually introducing them to my clients. It doesn't touch your credit to see what you qualify for. And it's like a 3-minute process. So Kayla, let me know if yeah, thank you. No problem. If you're grabbing the link, if you need it, I can find it and pop it in there too. But so that's a great option, right? If something is a must, we always find a way. And I just want to make sure that you're aware of that too. If you're looking for the how to get in our energy in a bigger level and receive support. Let me see. I think that was, one final thing on the program side, and then we're going to do the bonus prize winner announcement. So I think we are actually full now for application call spots for today. We do have a couple left on Monday, But if you were looking to get in and take advantage of the bonuses for today, and you needed to have a call, so you can apply and enroll directly through the program pages. But if you needed to have a call with us, email my team, elise@elisearcher.com. And Kayla's like, Kayla is the keeper of the calendar. She will help us figure it out. So we've got that too. And we'll see what we can do to get us together today, in time for that bonus if you wanted to. So today, again, is going to be about integration of what we talked about. I want to go deep with as many of you as I can. So if you've got questions on any of the content that we covered, anything that's been showing up for you, if you have questions on the programs, I'm happy to answer those today too. But before we do that, let's announce our bonus prize winner. So, all right, I feel like I should have a drum roll. I don't have a drum roll, but Mary Van Dorn, I see you on camera. Well done. I'm so excited to have extra private time with you. We already have some private time together and it's beautiful. And now I get to have more. So congratulations. So Kayla will reach out and get us scheduled. And then we had a runner up and I wasn't planning on doing anything, but where I think I saw her. Oh, Valerie, you were our runner up. So what I want to do is gift you our abundance mini course. That is a paid course. So I'm going to gift you that, Kayla. If you can just make a note that we're going to give that to Valerie. It's really powerful and it's all about stepping into greater levels of abundance. So I hope that that's supportive and we'll get that on over to you as well. Okay, awesome. Oh, thank you, Kayla. And then you popped the link for the funding in the chat. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a client spotlight. Brooke, you are here. It's so good to see you. I love you. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and sorry I was like in and out throughout the week. But that's because I've been very busy with client calls, which is a fantastic problem to have, isn't it? It's not a problem. It's a great blessing.
You're in demand. And Brooke is also an incredible mama. She's a wife, she's a partner. She's awesome. And you've got two beautiful little kids, one very young, ours are like both right around the same age, which is fun.
Yes.
So Brooke, I would love let's just take a moment and introduce you. So you and I connected about almost a year ago now. Is that right? I think
I think it was in January of this year.
I think so too. I remember we connected. I was like,
somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah. Tell everyone a little bit just about like who you are, what you do, and then what prompted you to come into the community and to get involved.
Yeah. So yes, Brooke Anderson. I am an enterprise account executive. I work for a medium-sized startup, I would say at this point. And what we do is I help companies with artificial intelligence for chemicals and materials design. No, I don't have a background in this. So I am the salesperson for this. And I've been in this space for not particularly the chemicals and materials space, but the enterprise sales corporate space for about 5 years doing software sales. And it kind of got to the point that I was like, I know there's a better way to do this, a way that like feels better to me to do this. I'm not feeling fulfilled. Why am I doing this? Like, I know it's just for the paycheck at the end of the day. It used to feel a lot better than it does now. And now it just doesn't feel good. And I kind of stumbled upon Elise. I never really knew that there was like coaches that I could have like this type of interaction with. So I started getting really involved in like, all right, here's, some free sales materials, like webinars, different things like this. And I don't remember what webinar you were on, but you were on with Ian and yes. Like you guys were both talking and I was actually getting ready to sign up for that sales school when that enrollment opened up. And then I saw Elise and I was like, pause, wait a second. Like, why am I going to go do a sales school? Nothing against sales school. I could possibly do it later. But like, I really want to do this from like a women's perspective. Like the reason that I'm feeling so depleted, I think, is because I'm so heavily influenced by the male perspective all the time. We don't necessarily see eye to eye. I think there's a different way of doing things. They don't see that same way. So I was like, nope, I got to work with Elise. Like, this is where I need to be. I need a group of women who are doing the same thing, who are on the same path as me, who like have the same, similar, maybe not all the same goals as I do, because that's the piece that I'm missing in my current organization. I'm the only female. I'm the only woman. There's nobody else to work with that works the same way as me. And I was missing this group of powerful women who are, you know, trying to and working on elevating themselves. And I was like, yep, I got to do this.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, I loved her energy instantly, and you can hear it. She's like incredible. You're like I don't know, fireball is what comes to mind in all the best ways. So you came in and you started with us in 10K, then you quickly elevated to 50K. We've done a little bit of private work together as well, which has been really powerful. And I don't know, we'll cover whatever you're comfortable covering today.
Anything. I'm happy to answer any
there's
questions.
awesome stuff that we've been able to work on even outside of career, which has been really fun. But what would you say has been the biggest transformation for you, Brooke, since coming into the community?
So, you know, I think the biggest transformation is just how I show up in my life every single day, which I think is just like incredibly powerful. So I went on maternity leave in the middle of, you know, working in the program, and I was happy to not be working for 3 months because I was kind of like at my wit's end with my existing job. Like, it felt like it was just sucking the life out of me every single day. And like my reactions to things were just very heightened, I guess you could say. Like everything caused me a great deal of stress. So I had the 3 months of maternity leave, which was great. I knew what I was coming back into, and it was exactly what I expected. But the different part was me and how I responded. And that was like all the work that I was doing, you know, while I wasn't on maternity leave, while I was on maternity leave. So the way that I showed up at work when I got back was so much different. I didn't respond the same way. Things didn't like impact me the same because I understood myself more. And like, I work through my own things a lot more. So, and I've actually reinvested myself in my existing job, saying, you know, when I first got back, I was like, I got to find a new job. Like my main goal in this whole thing is finding a new job, and where am I going next? And what am I doing? And now I'm like, okay, I don't have the same stressors, or the same things that were causing me stress don't cause me stress at all. They're just a piece of the day. Like it's nothing. I feel joy every day because I know exactly what I'm working towards, and I know exactly what my goals are. So everything I was like, you know, if a manager put a meeting on late in the day, you're like, I'm getting fired. It's happening. Today's the day. They're firing me. Now it's like, oh, I wonder what's happening. Like, oh, we have this new customer you want me to take. Sounds great. So it's like, you know, my pipeline is full. I'm super busy right now. I think all of that is just like, I am attracting those clients at this point. I'm not closed off to receiving clients in different ways. And because like, and you know, even that mindset when I'm like, I'm getting fired today. And now my mindset is, ooh, I wonder what's going on. And every time, ooh, what's going on leads to, hey, we have this account in the EU. You know, I know that's not really your territory, but do you want to take this customer? Yes, please. I'll happily take that customer.
Can I pause on something you said really quick? Because I think it's so important, because you're a high achiever. I would say probably everyone here this week identifies as a high achiever. Isn't it so interesting how even when we're high achievers, we're good at what we do, we're like top of our class, the things our brain will tell us about imminent doom, or this is happening, or this person is canceling, or you're losing. And when we run on those unconscious programs all the time, and we're not aware of them, and we haven't laid the foundation of the big three, like we talked about this week. It's like, you can get by and you can exist and you can be okay. But But number one, you're not going to enjoy the experience. And number two, because we do attract based on our thoughts, we will have more things happen like that. So I just love the level of consciousness you reached where you were like, oh my gosh, why am I even thinking this? And let me flip it. And you, just from hearing how you're in 50K club and you share these things in the group chat and you tell us what's going on, like you're magnetizing so many cool opportunities, which I just love.
Yeah,
Do you?
including them opening up possibly a whole new sales route for me to take over.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm like, do we want to go down how much, do we want to go down? Do we want to share briefly about like whole new level of purpose opening up and clarity on what you're doing next? Or is that too much for today?
I mean, it depends what is beneficial for everybody to hear, but I will say that, when I came into the program, I was so like, it was such a focus on what is my job? What job am I going to do? What am I going to sell? What can I do my own thing? Do I have yada, yada? And like, what it really came down to was like, that's my how. Like everybody, the how can be a little bit different for everybody, but I was not like, I didn't allow myself to really live into what I really wanted. So Elise and I spent some time together and like, what is it that I really want? And it happened so easily and quickly once we started having the conversation. I was like, oh, well, this is like, a down the line thing, what, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, I think that is the thing. And I was like, I think you're right. That's the one thing that I have like no resistance to. And I can share. So I want to, my dad grew up on a farm that I grew up on. They sold it recently. My dad passed away about a year ago. And like, ever since they sold the farm, it was always this, oh, if it could have just been a couple years, if they held it a couple years longer, I could have bought it. But if I bought it, I wouldn't be in Colorado. I wouldn't be in this job. I wouldn't be in this group. So everything, my path is my path for a reason. But what I really want is to buy back the farm. And I want to create the space. I want to bring it back to its glory and bring that land, like bring it back to what it should be and what it should have always been. So the people that own it now have kind of like trashed it. And what I tell Elise is like, thank you so much for trashing this property because it makes it that much easier for me to purchase.
Yeah.
And I just told my expansion on the idea is like, there's an old farmhouse that was built in 1864. This is way too much detail. I'm sorry. But the farmhouse, like, that's not where I want to live. I have my plans for a brand new house and we're going to turn the farmhouse into like a bed and breakfast. And it's going to be this beautiful, like Hallmark movie level bed and breakfast. You buy your Christmas trees from there. Like, it's going to be fantastic. Let me just tell you, I will invite all of you to come stay once it's going. But just like that clarity and just, and one thing that I've learned through this, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but one thing I've learned through this is that it's such a small thing that you have to find. It's not like the big, there's a couple things that I've been able to identify through Elise's program that have completely changed the way that I live. Identifying like those limiting beliefs, because sometimes it's just this really tiny thing that the second you figure out what it is, everything opens up for you. And I never would have figured out what it was if I wasn't going through the program, having these conversations and working with this group of women. And those small changes like have just like expanded my world exponentially, and created like this level of joy in myself. Did I think it was going to happen this fast? Not really. But being able to live like joyfully every day I would take that over a lot of the other things that I've gained out of this, but just feeling good every day is so good.
Wow. That makes me so happy to hear. It really does. I didn't realize that you were so new to coaching. I had no idea because I felt when you invested in yourself, I felt like it was fast and you were like, yep. But did you have concerns about investing in yourself? If so, you wouldn't know it from our conversations, but I think that's helpful. So like, what were how did you get past the concerns? Because I think that's natural when we're looking at up leveling to have money fears show up.
Yeah. So I've never invested in myself, period. Like, even if we're talking about a paid sales training, I'm like, oh, you want $500 for that? Like, not sure about that. So when I came here, I'm like, oh, okay. But like, there's something about like, heck yes, I had a lot of fear. Like, do I invest in myself? And it kind of was like, am I worth it?
Yeah. That's
But at the end of the day, I was
pause.
like,
That's always it. Keep going,
yeah,
but that's always actually what it is. Yeah. Keep going.
am I worth that level of investment? And I'm like, yes, I am. If I don't do something different and I keep doing the same things, like the sales coaching, that like the $500 sales coaching that maybe I was going to invest in, that was like this framework, masculine structure, was the same thing that I've done, you get for free. Yeah, everybody has a different opinion. Yes, I'm not saying that it's not valuable, because it is. But there was just something that spoke to my soul about this. And I was like, I have to do it now, because if I don't do it, and part of my hesitation was like, maybe after I have the baby, maybe after, I get back from maternity leave, maybe this, maybe that. And I was like, no, if I wait another 6 months to have this baby and then start investing in myself, I'm 6 months further down the road in my life that I accepted my life the exact way it is. And I'm not happy with my life the way it is. And I want drastic change. And I want to have like an up level. I don't want it to be slow. I don't want it to take time. And I need to make an investment in myself. And I just knew that this was the right, it was terrifying. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It was absolutely terrifying, but I just knew it was the right thing. And I had to say yes to myself for the first time in my life. Like, I had to say yes to myself. It was a must. So I did. I just told my husband, I said, I am doing this. It costs this much money and I'm enrolling today.
Yeah.
He's very supportive. So he's like, okay.
Well, and it's also, here's something I went like, it's your energy. It's your energy when you're, and this is so critical. Like I could spend the rest of the time talking about this, so I'm not, but if you like, number one, my belief, like your business is your business, your money. If you make your money as everyone has to have their own money rules. But if you go to someone and you're like, this is really big, this is stretching, I don't know, like your partner will generally feel your fear and try to protect you from that. But when you go to someone, you're like, this is happening, it's done, or you just do it. It's a very different energetic. But there's two things I want to pull out from what you said that I thought were so powerful. One, the declaration that I am worthy of this. It is so big, Brooke, and everyone here. I remember when for those of you who saw the video I recorded yesterday in the Facebook group about decision-making from the end, and I talked about my first big quantum leap where first I had to invest 50,000 in coaching, where the whole year before I had made 100. And I was just like Brooke, following my intuition. I need to do this. It was petrifying. It was terrifying. I didn't have the money. But I realized there was a switch where it was like, I am worthy of receiving support at the level that I feel intuitively guided to. And here's something that I know is, for any investment we make where it's easy, where it's like, we don't have to think about it, you're not going to grow. Like, this is what's so important. Part of why I made that decision myself, and what I think part of, Brooke, what's probably contributed to how rapid your acceleration has been, is like, it forces you to get uncomfortable. Like, it forces you to stretch and grow. And that's what I'll say to everyone here. Like, again, if what we've talked about this week has not resonated and you're not feeling it, like, don't move forward. It's not going to be a good use of your time or your money. If it has resonated, that's a different story. But you will always be required to stretch and get uncomfortable when you're really serious about getting the quantum leap. So it's just that process of saying, I am worth this. I was working with a male client about a year ago, and he told me that one of the things that really was powerful to him was he had heard my story about saying, I'm worthy of this. I'm investing in myself in this way. That was how he chose to invest in himself for private coaching and the up levels. He sent me a video the other day, and it's like, life is so different because he said, I'm worthy of this. He got out of a lot of old limiting beliefs, a lot of old habits, incredible career success, relationship success, like all of it. So anyway, and yes, it will never be the right time. So thank you for that. final question for you. So for our members who are here and they're like, oh my, like I'm feeling pulled, I'm feeling called, it's really uncomfortable, it's feeling stretchy, but they're like, they feel it, they feel that knowingness. What would you say?
Oh, well, of course I'm going to say, just do it. And like taking, yourself.
Mm.
It's like, if you're a high performing person, what you need, like deep in your soul, like just listen to it, because that's like part of what I turned off for so long, because, from that corporate, male dominated culture, like all of that stuff was just really shut down. And the second that I listened to it, the second that I was like, this is for me, heck yes, like I need to do this. It's scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like what you get out of it from yourself and from the community is like, just do it. If you're feeling called to it, do it. Like that, take the chance on yourself, because you are worth it and you're worthy of like experiencing the level of support that you get in this group. And like, I can tell you, like moving forward, and like, when I think about other places of my life, I'm worthy of support in like having somebody help me clean my house. I'm worthy of support in other areas too. And like, this just opened up that door for me to like receive the support that I'm worthy of receiving.
Oh my gosh. Amen. 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 Mic drop, the end. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that and for saying yes to you. It's, and just one final thing I want to say to you is the legacy that you're going to leave for your kids by how you've chosen to shift things. That's something I'm really big on, is creating generational healing.
Mhm.
And changing the dynamic in a powerful way for generations to come. So you're doing that and you're embodying that, and you're going to teach a really beautiful way of being to your kids. So, so much love to you.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. Yeah. Oh, all right. Here's what I'd love to do. Let's chat. So I'd love to just spend some time talking with those of you who are here live and hear what's coming up for you right now. Do you have questions that have come up on any of the topics we've spoken about? Again, like if you have questions on the programs, we can talk through that too, but I'm here for you right now. So let's just oh, good. Valerie, you popped. The way we can do this is you can totally, I think it'll be easiest if we can actually talk live. Valerie, I'm going to read your question and answer it. I'm also going to ask, if you have a question, raise your hand, do the hand raise, and then I'll know. But let me go ahead and answer. So Valerie, a question from me yesterday is, how do you know the difference between pushing past discomfort versus leaning into masculine energy? Great. Can you come off mute and let's clarify the question a bit?
Sure. So yesterday, I think you were getting into a little bit of like, sometimes you have to be a little uncomfortable to stretch yourself. And then it's like, there are those times where I'm like, am I uncomfortable in stretching myself, or am I leaning into masculine energy? Am I trying to make something happen that either isn't supposed to happen or isn't supposed to happen yet? Or like, so where is the difference in that? Am I doing
Sure.
something that feels inauthentic?
So here's how there's a couple things. What is the feeling of it? So this is something really important to start to tune into. And this is why we're so big on helping our female members reconnect with their bodies, and the men who enroll, because there is so much communication from your body to your brain that will tell you what the right path is for you. And most of us have just learned to shut that off in a very different way, usually for women than for men. But so what is the feeling of it? If it feels like a force, if it feels heavy, if it feels uninspiring, if it feels burdensome, if it feels like a should, that to me is like a no, like that's not the direction to go. So the analogy that I would use for powerful masculine and feminine energy is, think about it kind of like pregnancy. For this is one example that's always helped me, because I was so in masculine for so long, where I was literally just pushing all day, every day. Pregnancy, the most incredible creative process on the planet, there's one time where you push and you got to push, right? The rest of the time, it's like you, we're just gonna, let's talk about pregnancy as a goal. Okay. You conceive the idea. When you really tap into feminine, you know, from that moment of conceiving the vision, conceiving the goal, it's done. It is done. It's already created, and you can call it the spiritual plane, the 5D, the non-physical, whatever language you want to use. It's done. The way most of us approach our goals is like if we conceived and we're pregnant and then immediately started to push, like, I got to get this thing out. You don't want that. You don't want that. There's a process where there's a lot that's being done behind the scenes that you don't need to micromanage. Now, do you need to take care of your body? Yes. Do you need to take the actions to do whatever you need to do? Doctor, midwife, or whatever your process is. Yes. Do you start preparing for the baby and making the nursery? Yes. So you're taking action, but it's in the just knowingness and confidence that this is happening and it's coming. So it doesn't feel like a push. It feels more like eager anticipation of what's coming. Then there reaches a point where it's time and there is a push, but that push is not in the, oh gosh, this is fear. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen. Am I actually pregnant? Am I actually having a baby? It's like, no, like I'm giving this thing my all to birth it and bring it out into the world. That's the energy of powerful masculine and feminine alignment when it comes to goal achievement. And that's how you know, is this like misaligned? Again, if it's like you're trying to push the whole way through, it's misaligned, and you want to check in with number one, is the goal something you even want? Number, like, what's your belief systems about it? What's all of that? There's a lot of work we would do there. I forget where I was, the second part of what I was going to say, but that's, if it feels more like eagerness, excitement, joy, which when I didn't understand anything about feminine energy, I never felt eagerness, excitement, and joy about any goals. Because they were all shoulds. I thought I had to push the boulder uphill the whole time. I was picking things based on what I thought other people would think were good versus what I actually wanted. I had no idea what I actually wanted. So I didn't have any of that. And I thought if it wasn't hard, that it wasn't going to happen. You know, I thought if it wasn't hard, I wasn't working hard enough. I wasn't putting it in. It wasn't going to happen. So I had no idea that there was another way to achieve goals. But when you learn this and you, like Brooke was talking about, like embody it, when you actually start to practice this and you start to see the wins and you see things coming in far more easily, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a whole different way to achieve. Does that help answer the question?
Yes. Yes. Thanks.
Okay. Awesome. You're welcome. Let's see here. Who else? Does someone else want support? Here's one thing I'll say too, like, I don't bet you, I know, whatever your question is, whatever you're bumping up against, everyone in here can relate to it in their own way. So today it's our last day together. Obviously there's, I think, quite a few of you who are going to be moving forward and continuing with us in deeper work, but I would also say, like, take advantage of this time. Let's integrate. Let's make sure that you got what you came here for. So you can raise your hand. You can come off mute if you want. I can
share
Brooke, yeah.
something while people think of their questions, because I'm sure there's more. Yeah. But this is just a little bit of an elaboration from what I shared with you on Marco Polo about, like, I just decided I was uncertain what I was going to do. And this is like all being very clear on your vision. And like, I'm getting very clear on my vision for the farm. And so I shared with you that I was like, I don't know what I want to do with the house. It was built in 1864. I want to keep the house, but I don't want to live in the house. So it's going to be a bed and breakfast. So the other piece of this that, like, I just thought of this morning, I need to write all this down, but it's so fantastic. So my mom has all of these like aerial paintings of the farm throughout like its history. So from like whenever they could have started taking those pictures. I don't know how far it dates back, but it's like 100 years. There's these different stages of the farm, like, and what it looked like, and they're painted. Like, oh my gosh, I'm decorating the Airbnb with those like versions of the farm as it's transformed. And it's like so it like represents like my transformation too. Not that it's like I was born in 1864 or anything like that, but it's like this transformation of the farm to what it is today, this Airbnb, this like, you know, destination spot for Christmas, this like bringing families and centering families together and spending that time with them. And there's the transformation of the pictures of the farm, my transformation, and like what we're calling it is my coming home. Like I'm just getting chills about it right now. Like it's just so beautiful. So that's my share. It's not really a question, but while we have time and people can think of their questions, I just wanted to share like how beautiful the vision really and how clear it's becoming. It's just so exciting.
Something I want to say, Christine, I love that you raised your hand. I'll get you in just a second. Something I want to say too about that, Brooke, is like, because I know there's several women here who are, looking for that next level of clarity too. And they're like, well, I don't, you know, whether it's you've just gone through a big transformation or you've done the same thing for a long time and it's not fulfilling, but you don't know what's next. And, or you actually know what you want deep down, but you're afraid to say it. This is something we've talked about in the mastermind, and you've been part of this too, like the quantum leap. Price Pritchett said this, the quantum leap, like it's not something I'm going to slightly butcher this, but it's close. It's not something you do. It's like something that you actually allow in.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole, I know for you for quite some time when we were talking, it was like, I don't know, there's something, and you've been on a journey of figuring out what that something is. But as soon as we connected on this and you were open, it was like so crystal clear. And now boom, 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 boom. You know exactly, you don't know the how yet, nor do you need to. And that's okay. It's going to unfold. You stay, this is the pregnancy analogy. You stay connected to that vision. You've conceived it. Now your job is to incubate it and take the next aligned action steps towards it. So
yeah, just something on that too, that like, I want to share is like the second that I got this clarity and I was like pretending to want other things. And I didn't really realize I was pretending to want other things. I want a job. I want this, like I was projecting myself to want things that I thought I should want. And I didn't think I was doing that, but I really was. The second, like I got this clarity on like, no, this is like, it doesn't matter all of the details behind it, because there was a lot of like, my husband doesn't want to move back to Ohio, this, that, the other, that like, I shut this dream off, but like, this is the dream. And the second I did that, like all of these opportunities just keep knocking at my door. And it's like, oh my God, like whether it be like my top of funnel is like blowing up at my current job, there's 1,000 companies reaching out to me, wanting me to work for them and do things for them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, thank you for these opportunities. Keep them coming. Like, I'm going to pull the thread and see where everything leads me and what the right thing is. But like, it has just been like the floodgates have opened up, and it's like, it's really exciting.
that's because you said yes and you're in alignment. And it's like the thing that we are afraid to do, to say yes to, is the thing that will quantum leap us. Always.
Yep.
But you have to do that first, and then the floodgates open of resources, of money, of support, it's how it works. It's how it works. Christine, let's have you share. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome.
Yeah, this is normally my workout time. So this is the first one I've made live, but I caught up on all of the whole week, every one of them. And I was just like, so lit up, especially by day 3, the masculine feminine just resonated so much. I don't even have a question. I guess it's just more of a share of just, I just realized that like how much I'm in my masculine. I mean, I even just did like a hormone panel just to check, and I'm like high in testosterone. And I know it's because I'm constantly pushing, I'm constantly doing, and I just like resonated with everything on that side. But I also know when I look back, like how I created my business, how I created my nonprofit was always when I was in the feminine, when I was in the flow and the excitement and the alignedness and the embodying and all of that. And so it was just really cool to see like just how I definitely have both, and how much more exciting and connected life is when you're in the feminine versus the masculine, and how to get myself back to that so that I'm living every day in the feminine, or at least the 95%, like you say, instead of, in the masculine, pushing and go, go, go. And even though I have a very full plate. So yeah, I just found that so, it just lit me up totally. And then yesterday was amazing too. And, yeah, I don't have a question. I just wanted to share that I thought it was so cool. I feel like you're all the books that I read and like all the coaches and everything I've seen, plus like Joe Dispenza sprinkled in there, like all in
It was
one.
definitely
So
in there.
it's really cool.
It was
Yeah.
a huge influence. I'm really grateful for him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You're
two-
amazing.
One or two things from what you said that I think are so powerful. Like and this was my conditioning for so long too. And for high achieving women, this is what we are taught to believe. Like we have to be just push, go, force all the time in order to quote unquote, make things happen. I know in my life, I'm going to go back to Valerie's question before, anytime I'm trying to make something happen, I'm actually out of alignment. It's not the most powerful way to create. So we end up getting into these loops of like fight or flight and high cortisol, like high stress all the time in our business. And it's a very different experience when you learn how to integrate the feminine, like we talked about on day 3, because you can have the same things to do. Like my plate is full as I continue to expand my capacity and serve more people. Like my plate is full and the energy of everything is fun. Like the energy of it is exciting. It feels light. It feels expansive. It feels like progress and like momentum. And then if something comes up and it doesn't feel light, I'm like, no, I'm just not going to do it. Like that's not the thing that's going to get me to where I want to go. So you give yourself permission to really tune into that feminine power of intuition, of guidance, to see like what is the next right step. And if you don't know the next right step, you go into the inquiry and you get reconnected with the vision, and that's work too. And then from there you take more action. But it's so different when you learn and understand and look. Oh, this was the other thing you said that I thought was so good. When you check your receipts, right? We've been talking about that in the mastermind and in our programs too. And you look back, for those of you who here would say they're still like operating under the conditioning, like it's got to be really hard to achieve success. And it's totally okay if this is you, because this is what we're taught. I'm seeing some yes. Check the receipts in your life. I would make a list of like, what are the 5 best things that have ever happened to you in your life, or that you've ever done in your life that you're most proud of, that you're going to look back on at the end of your life and be like, that was amazing. Did any of them come from you pushing, forcing, trying to push the boulder uphill, trying to grind it out, make it happen? Promise you, not a single one of them did, right? It was like you had an inspiration, you followed it, you were taking the action, but it felt fun. It felt exciting. Maybe it felt scary and stretchy. Sometimes that's part of it too, because you're having to expand. But life can be like that all the time. And from that place of alignment, what we create and our results are exponential. You will get so much more money, clients, opportunity, like everything you want. But the difference is going to be, you're going to be feeling so good while you work towards the goals, that when the things come to you, it's like a bonus. It really is. It's like, oh, great, thanks. Like, it's fun. It's not that you like, it's awesome, but it's like a bonus because you already feel so good. So I want to say thank you for sharing that, because that was, what you shared was really, really good and important.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can tell like the days that I'm in flow and aligned, and the day feels so much more better, and I feel so much better, and you're just like, everything's flowing and it's like you're having a good day. And then the days that you're pushing are just like, like I can just see the energy difference so much now. It's really cool. So super beautiful. I just want to say thank you. It's been incredible and so powerful. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us during your workout time today.
Yes, I was like, I'm going to join the last day live. I'm not going to work out today. It's fine. I've done 4 days this week.
Work your brain. Come work your brain. No, I'm laughing as you say that too, because like, I don't think anyone's perfect. Like I have times where I'm like out of alignment, and I feel, and even I was laughing with, she's not on today, but I was laughing with someone earlier this week about, I think it was Tuesday of this week, right before we got on the call. I had spent, I don't know, like the preceding hour, like trying to get the kids out of the house to school. And I was literally chasing a naked toddler around the garage. He's covered in peanut butter. I'm trying to get him to put his underwear on so I can get him to school. And I was like, Jack, I'm going to take you to school naked if you don't put on some clothes. And I love you. And it was like one of those more, like, it happens, right? But then when we understand these processes, we can come back together and we can get reconnected and tune into the feeling of what we're creating. So anyway, all of that to say, there is real life that happens along the way, but you just laugh about it. Who else? I would love to answer a question. If you've got something that's like come up for you, even if it's a share, that's great. Like a share is great. A question is great. Yeah, Kelly, I'd love to hear from you.
Hello. Okay, so I've just been working on something this week and I wanted to share because I definitely need some like guidance in, I think we have a 10K club call next week, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes.
so
What day is it? Yes, we do.
But yeah, so you know how I was supporting that fashion brand for some time with like getting them connected with like large businesses like Revolve and W Hotels and and I was like loving that. And then it kind of wasn't working. So I like stepped away from it, but I still kind of wanted to like further pursue that. And I don't know, it just like wasn't like feeling right for like a few weeks. And I don't know what happened on Sunday, but I was just like, we're doing it, like, let's go. And so all week I've been kind of like putting together a plan and like created like logos and everything. And it's been so much fun. I've just been having a great time. And I'm super excited. So I just definitely am going to be needing some help on like A, pricing, and B, like, I know all the ways that I can help. And I just need some guidance, like packaging all of that up and like presenting myself to prospective clients.
Okay.
But that's what I'm working on. It's super exciting.
Love it. Yeah, no, we can work on that on the 10K call together. I think that's so exciting. And that's, I mean, that's connected action, right? So it was like, you knew if you had tried to do that a week before, when you weren't inspired, it would have felt so hard, so heavy. It wouldn't be coming together the way it is. So you're taking connected action. It feels light. It feels fun. It feels exciting. You're like unattached to the outcome. You're like, let me follow this and see where this goes. So that's a beautiful example of what we talked about this week too. And yes, I would love to help you map all of it out on our call. So,
yes, it's great. And this week's having like a call every day has been, I don't know, like everything happened the right timing because I'm like, this is perfect. I need a little refresher of all this stuff.
Good. Good. Well, I think we're going to be adding some more of this into our community for our 10K, 50K and private clients, like some more implementations. We've already, we've got a lot already, but we're going to be adding even more to check in more frequently between calls too. So just know like that's coming and it's going to be really awesome. So more to come on that. Who else? I saw so much conversation in the Facebook group around money and some stuff that was showing up for all of you with the letter to money, as well as there seemed to be a lot on the masculine and feminine side. So does anyone else have something that's come up? Rebecca, my favorite was day 3 for me, the masculine and feminine. Oh, man, day 3 resonated. Hey, super quick, Penny, and then yes, I can't wait to chat with you. That's so funny. Yeah, it was just really like strongly flowing for all of you when I was mapping that out for that day. So I was like, I trust that this is really what they need to hear. I'm so glad. Patty, yes, hello. What's your question?
Hello, how are you?
So good. It's so good to see you.
Oh man, I missed yesterday because I was out working with a client and I did not get to see the replay, but I'm gonna come find it. But my question has been, and especially since we talked about pricing my products. Like
super quick, Patty, is there any way to get a little bit closer to the speaker on or it's just a little bit of background noise and I want to make sure I hear you okay?
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is out of the cafeteria. Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I was saying pricing my products has been like a pain. Like,
okay.
I don't know, like I've created several courses about real estate and stuff that I do.
Okay.
And it's stuff that I'm really passionate about. but pricing it has been like, I'm so terrified that people are not going to buy
Okay.
because I'm pricing it too high, or if I price it too low, I have no idea how to get over that fear of just
Mhm.
price.
Okay.
And so it's really what's holding me back. Like I was doing a reel this morning. Sorry. I was
fine.
gonna read that one of the.
Oh, Patty, you're muted. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so check out my course, but I don't know if I priced it correctly.
Mhm.
I'm terrified with the
Okay.
pricing aspect of my product.
Okay.
Like, how do I get over that fear of like, my pricing correctly, will people buy it, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say a couple things, and I know we've got 5 minutes. So this is like, to have the actual pricing strategy conversation, we would need more time. But before you do any of that, so this is going to be a hybrid of masculine and feminine approach here. So before you even start thinking about pricing, we want to get you out of fear about it, because right now all of your energy and all of your focus is outside. It's like, what if someone says no? What if they don't buy? What if this? What if that? So I would at least be conscious too. Okay, I've disconnected from my truth. I've disconnected to why I even felt called to create this in the first place. And I'm giving my power away to a bunch of other people that, number one, I don't even know who they are. Right? No, I'm anticipating rejection, and it's got me paralyzed in fear. So what we want to do is actually just stop and pause and help you tap back into the vision, which is the feminine. Why am I doing this? What's the desire? What would I love? If I could have it any way, what would I love? And when you do all of those things, there will be limiting beliefs that come up, and all I do with that is I just note them. I write them down. It's real. Anytime we're stretching, we're going to have some limiting beliefs pop up. We know they're happening because we feel a negative emotion in our bodies. So we want to learn to like stop it sooner so that you're not spiraling, but there's still, it's just a process. It's just a learning process. And then we just debunk the limiting beliefs. Right. So they are lies. They're not true. Like, the fact that you feel inspired to create this means there's people who need it. People value what they pay for. But I would do pricing strategy with you from a very grounded place of you being in your truth and feeling so aligned and so excited and so connected to the vision for your life and your company that you're creating. And then from that place, the pricing actually becomes pretty easy. It's pretty clear. And there's also an energy of like, oh, let's just see. Let's see what happens. Those would be the steps that I would want to take. And that's, again, that combination, the hybrid of the masculine and the feminine, that when we're creating from connection to, and again, you can call it connection to the vision, connection to spirit, connection to source, God, whatever your language is, your higher self, higher power. And it's like, you're just excited to create. And then from that place, the actions and the steps kind of naturally unfold. So I would just put it down. I'd get reconnected to, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? What's important to you? And then follow the aligned action steps. And if you want to have a call, ping me and we'll have a call. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I've been trying to kind of go back to that, but it's like, I don't know, I froze in the middle of all of this. I'm like, I didn't know what to do, like, what do I do next? But this has really helped, and I will definitely get back with you about a call, and getting back to the coaching, because I really need to.
Yeah, I'd love to support you more. I love you. I'd love to support you more. So shoot me a note. We'll get on a call. All right, everyone. Oh, hi, Amy. I'm so glad you're here. Man, this has been such a beautiful experience. Thank you so much for all of, I'm sad. I want to keep going. Thank you so much for everyone who's been here live. If you're watching the replays and you've been catching those, I just so I trust that they've been speaking to you and resonating. Again, my team and I are here to help support you. So if this is speaking to you, Kayla, if you can just pop the links one more time in the chat for 10K, 50K, we'd love to help support you in taking your journey further. So there's links to enroll through the program pages there. You can book a call. Again, if you don't see a time that works for you, we're taking calls today and Monday as of right now, but I think I'm totally booked for today. Email elise@elisearcher.com. My team will help us get booked. And we're here. I'd love to help support you in your journey further. So, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've got all the links there. All right, everyone. I hope to see many of you inside our programs and our community. It's been so good spending time with you. Thank you for this opportunity. You're incredible. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything you want in life, and you are worthy of it. I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.